We're taking the holiday week off and are replaying two of our most popular episodes. We'll be back on January 7th with a new episode. Thanks for listening. While a promotion can be gratifying, exciting, and rewarding, it often carries with it new or increased pressures. In this episode, we talk about how to deal with those burdens. Hi, I'm Rick Kendall.
And I'm Fred Ball.
Welcome to Management Mastery. The purpose of these podcasts is to share what each of us has learned about good and bad management during our 20 years of experience both as managers and executive coaches. During that time, we have coached managers at every level in companies from Fortune 100 to brand new startups in all major businesses. So whether you're just starting in your first management position or are an experienced manager looking to strengthen your management skills, we know our podcast will be valuable for you.
Everyone has concerns when starting something new, and they need to be able to fall back on characteristics that have made them successful in the past. Three specific concerns new managers almost always have we want to discuss: a lack of self-confidence, a fear of the unknown, and the fear of making mistakes.
You know, a lack of self-confidence, sometimes this is called the imposter syndrome. You know, I've got this job, but they think I can do it, but if they knew the truth, they wouldn't think so. But the fact of the matter is, they've watched you, and somebody thinks you can do the job, and somebody is betting on you to be able to do it. So the important thing is recognize your strengths and focus on the core skills that have made you successful to date. If you're still unsure, talk to your peers, talk to your coworkers or other managers at your level, and learn to see what they see as the biggest challenges they face and how they deal with them. And another important thing is to have a game plan. Even if it's not perfect, always have a plan. Be prepared to discuss it with others and take their suggestions, because they can also be helpful. Having a plan shows that you've thought through the problem, and discussing it openly with others shows that you're open to improving it.
A second concern is fear of the unknown. Will I be able to handle the challenges, including the different skills necessary to be successful? I always remember walking into the quad at Columbia University where I had signed up for my first graduate course. And standing in the quad, half of my brain was saying, boy, this is an exciting challenge ahead. And the other half of my brain was saying, look, you don't know about this place. Maybe what you should do is turn around, walk out the gate, and go home. Fortunately, I decided to do the former, and I stayed.
Yeah, I had a similar experience when I started at NYU. First of all, I was moving to New York from Southern California, so the suburban kid is plunked in the middle of Manhattan. And I figured, you know, these people have gone straight into a PhD program. I had to work, blah, blah, blah. But I found in talking to them, meeting the professors, that, you know, they put their pants on one leg at a time. And, you know, it works out. You just talk to people, see what they're doing, and take it one day at a time.
I did that. I went to the first class and I sat down with people and began to discuss with them, tell me about this place, what is good, what's tough, and so forth. I'm not sure that I went in with the mindset that I should have gone in with, and that was that I didn't have to have all the answers. But my outgoing nature at least was willing to have conversations people to say, what is this place like? And as far as being a credible manager is concerned, you're going to need to do the same thing. You're going to have to get comfortable in the setting. Your boss, if you're new, then your boss may help to introduce you to the team. And you want to start out with people perhaps that you've met before. Maybe they were involved in selecting you. And what will happen is that you're more comfortable with them. But one way or the other, you have to be prepared to reach out. And for some people, this is much easier than others. And for some people, it's a little bit tougher. But if you just meet with people on your team one-on-one, you can ask for their input for the department, tell where their strengths and weaknesses, and all of a sudden you're off and running as far as being comfortable with someone else.
The third thing we mentioned is just the fear of making mistakes. And the thing to keep in mind is everyone makes mistakes. It's what you do after that matters. So when you make a mistake, the first thing you want to do is admit it. The worst thing you can do is to try to cover it up. And you admit it to the people that it impacts, you apologize for it. And the other important thing is before you meet with them is to try to have a plan for how to avoid that mistake in the future. Even if it's not perfect, it's important to show that you've thought through, what did I do wrong? How do I avoid doing it in the future? And if you don't have a plan, or you can't come up with how to deal with it, then talk to people who might be able to help you. Again, it's showing the effort to avoid the mistake in the future, and how you deal with that that's the most important thing. Now, we've been talking about a number of behavioral things you can do to deal with the concerns, but there are also a number of attitudinal factors that can help you.
One of the first ones is to display a positive attitude. One of the things that you're going to have to do as a manager is that there are going to be good times and there are going to be not so good times. And as the manager, you need to be able to take a positive attitude, sometimes put a positive spin on things that are happening, even when you're not so sure that there's going to be a positive outcome. And so what happens is that you've got to be that one because you set the mood for the group. If you're not positive, then those people who see the glass as half empty are going to immediately start to blow that up. So you've got to be the one to keep things going.
Well, that's true about being committed to the task. I mean, you've got to remain committed to the task. Because if you don't stick to it, your team isn't going to stick to it. I mean, you are the leader. They're following you. Now, sometimes the task is going to seem unachievable. You can just, I'll never be able to do this. So what you need to do there is try to figure out what changes could be made in it so it is achievable. Discuss these suggestions with your boss and the reasons why you think the change is necessary, and discuss them with your staff as well.
Another attitudinal factor is to remain self-confident, but with humility. All of us have had a boss or two where everything is about I, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to build themselves up in the eye of senior management. And this people can see right through. And the lack of self-confidence comes through in those people. You don't want to be that person. Secure people are humble. They're not afraid to admit that they don't know something. They pass credit on to others. And it's very important that you think in terms of talking in terms of the we and not the I. And you can deal with your staff and show them that this is something that we can do and we can do it together. And it will go a long way toward building relationships within your team.
You know, Fred, it's a very important topic to talk about, this self-confidence with humility. I was just dealing with a situation where this company I'm on the board of had to let a senior manager go, and the reason was that she was so insecure that she had to keep control of all the information. her direct reports only interacted with her, didn't interact with anyone else in the company, didn't know what was going on anywhere else. None of the senior management could talk to those people, and their morale was declining rapidly, but also there was no synergy amongst the different departments in this company because the manager kept everything so close that it was cut off. And it got so bad that she finally had to be let go because senior management realized that they weren't getting all they could out of her department. And it was all because she was so insecure. So we've covered 3 of the main concerns managers have in a new position: self-confidence, fear of the unknown, and fear of mistakes, and have given you tips as to behaviors you can use to deal with each of these. We hope you have found this podcast useful and will come back again for more management mastery. If you have comments or questions about this or any of our episodes, or would like to find out more about our other services, including one-on-one coaching and group seminars for managers, visit our website at careercoachclass.com for information on our courses, as well as links to our LinkedIn and YouTube channels. Thanks for listening.